everybody, this is Patricia Cori coming to you from the Azores Islands, my beautiful home. I always remind everybody that it's Atlantis. From Atlantis I began, and to Atlantis I returned. So I'm always joyful about that. So I'm coming to you for a moment of Zen because I just want to give you a fill-in on what I'm up to. Man, have I been busy, you know. With a lot of activity on YouTube and interacting with a lot of the voices that I feel have really important things to share with you. There is no question there has been a big activation on the part of people who are trying to get the truth out. And I just want to say that we don't always agree. Truth, it's an elusive thing sometimes. But what matters is how many times will I say this in my lifetime? What matters is what you understand as truth. And so when people say to me, I don't really agree with what that guy said about this or that, and that does happen, take what you can. So if somebody says something that doesn't resonate, what about the rest? We're not perfected, Christed, archangelic people here. We're humans trying to find our way, trying to get answers, trying to understand, trying to apply our wisdom to bring forward what we can to assist. And so, take a breather sometimes when you're looking at what's being served up to you, and if it doesn't resonate, no problem. But let's not, first of all, shoot the messenger. And secondly, let's not be so quick to judge and castrate someone who is trying to share what he or she understands. So with that said, I just want to say that it's a disclaimer. I don't always agree with my speakers, but I certainly do my best to choose people that I feel have something important to say. And with that, I want to, share the lineup. I've got this coming up. I have this week, I have the return of Dan Willis. The first interview was magnificent. Some people didn't agree with his opinion about the moon program and did we really land or not? And I have questions about that myself. I've never really bought, ever, the narrative that in 1969 we landed on the moon. Looked like a photo op to me, but will we ever know for sure? Maybe the right whistleblowers will come along with the evidence. In the meantime, Dan Willis has a lot of information about the secret government and the secret space program, and he shared a lot with us. Well, he did a beautiful expose with Laura Eisenhower. I recommend you check that out. And days ago, he did a beautiful interview on my channel with me. And we have the great and delightful pleasure to have Dan back on this week. And he's bringing with him Dr. Michael Salla. So we're going to be talking about, what I want to talk about is the Nordics and their involvement with the Navy. And I'm going to be bringing back up my story about running into these Nordics. So if you heard me tell the story on my live chat maybe 2 weeks ago, it was the first time the chat just froze when I told people, you want to hear this story? And they just froze and listened. It was quite amazing. And it's a story about my encounters with what I'm convinced were, I'm sure they're somewhere now still, Nordics posing for or working with the NATO base in southern Italy. And I'm going to bring that story back up to share with Dr. Michael Salla and Dan in the intercourse that will ensue about the Nordics and the Navy, because it turns out that the people that I encountered, the beings that I encountered, also claimed that they were with the Navy. So I will be talking about that. It's quite a fascinating story, and it's personal. So I hope you'll be tuned in for that. And very delighted. I've never had Dr. Michael Salla on exopolitics, so I'm looking forward to finally meeting him and speaking with him and sharing all of that information. And man, I've got Sasha Stone back. Everybody's waiting for that. We had such chemistry in the first video. I don't remember the date now, but it's been about 2 weeks. It was breathtaking. It's rare that somebody can keep me spellbound, but he achieved that. And you might be noticing that Sasha's kind of all over the place right now, trying to, ring the bell, ring the alarm, get people to stand up in sovereignty and rebellion because of what we see happening coming down, the tightening of the screw. So we intend to talk about the hyperdimensional universe, but something tells me we're going to be talking also, at least also, about the three-dimensional world that has gone completely awry. And somewhere along the lines with all this information, we have to talk about what we can do. What are the solutions? Because right now we're just getting information, and difficult information. And, even in our circles of the truth movement, the alternative movement, call it whatever you want, there's a lot of fear. And I don't like fear, and we don't operate well in fear. So I'm doing my best to bring the information out that I understand as truth, and then swing it back up, just like all my books do, to the hopeful, to the positive, to the brilliance of what this means. The Syrian High Council have always said, for 22 years now, they've said, you're going through the desert days, and did you think it was going to be easy? Did you think it was going to be easy overturning the claw that has its grip on planet Earth? But you came here to do that, and do it you will. And that dawn is just ahead of you. So don't give up. Don't be afraid. This is your process. You are the warriors who came to facilitate this. So never forget that, Starseed. And if you don't identify with Starseed, never forget it anyway. Okay, and then just to top things off, all in 1 week. Wow, what a busy week. I hope I get a time for a break. I am delighted to be on the other side of the interview with the inimitable Carrie Cassidy. She's had the grace and generosity to have me on her program, I think 3 times so far. And finally, now I get to interview her, which is going to be an interesting dynamic. We are going to be talking about the boiling of the ionosphere, and that's HAARP. You may, affectionately called HAARP. And all of the weaponry that is the war on the weather. So that's some important information. You look at the fires in Santa Cruz, the lightning complex. Give me one large break. You look at how the Schumann resonance is all over the road. We have just gotten through another immense, unnatural hurricane. And, the weather patterns that we're seeing, we are well past the question of, is there interference with the weather? Starting with the fact that there are patents and military documents that go as far back as World War II. They're already working on this. And so I'm bringing that forward with a vengeance. And those of you who read the Syrian Revelations, I have brought that information through long ago. The original editions of the trilogy came out 1998, 99, and 2000. And then my current publisher, North Atlantic Books, got in touch with me and said, we'd like to take these books to the next level. And so in 2007, they got the rights to the books and republished them. So when you look at your book and it says 2007 and 2008, just know that that's a second publishing. The original books came out 22 years ago. So to be talking about HAARP and chemtrails and other nasties 22 years ago, that was pretty ahead of its time, let's say. And so we're going to be talking about that with Carrie, who is so knowledgeable. She has interviewed, 1,500 and growing whistleblowers, and she is a library of information. I'm looking forward to that. I am going to be doing another question and answer live stream by mid-September. And, I apologize, the last one, supposed to be a question and answer, but I got off and running on a subject and didn't really get in enough time to answer all your questions. So midweek, I'll be inviting people once again to send me your questions for me or for the Syrian High Council, and I will be more prepared to answer them in the live stream. I just love the live stream. I love that you all come in and we exchange at least the chat. And then, of course, there is the town hall, which is even better because we see each other. We speak to each other. We are a growing community of people that get together on these live visual Zoom meetings and share our thoughts. So that when I hear people say, I have no one to talk to, nobody understands me, nobody gets me, nobody, my answer is, well, come on, man. Come on into this beautiful online family of people that do get you. And my whole purpose of it was to give you an opportunity, not just to listen, but to speak. And boy, when you speak, are you wise. I learned a lot in the first two, and there will be another town hall meeting also in September. So in between all of this, I'm watching what's happening in Melbourne. I'm quite concerned, very concerned about Australia and how the New World Order is smashing down there. And we need, again, to be talking about solutions. And it's time for us to get off of our asses and see what we can do, what more we can do to help our brothers and sisters who are in the grip of it. Because not all of us are still in the heavy-duty grip of it. But it's coming, baby. So I'm all about solutions. I'm all about the upside of down. And that's what I'm going to be doing with you this week. The upside of down. Look at the difficulty. Look at the darkness. Talk about what's being done. Where are we? Is the force for light on the ground, the military, white hats? Is it making the progress we're praying for? Where do we stand? Take a deep breath and let's see what's happening. All right, so that's what's going on this week. I'm looking forward to seeing you there. I always do pre-taping on my interviews, so they always air the day after, 1 or 2 days after. So please, and tell your friends about my YouTube channel. I really want to grow it because it doesn't make sense any other way. So help me grow my channel and help me spread the light. And remember, I'm just a messenger. All right, guys, thank you for listening. I shall see you soon with a stellar lineup. Thank you. This is Patricia Cori signing out.